Like Leo said, my name is Kris. So the first time that I spoke, I didn't know I had a fear, and I don't even know if you can call it a fear, but I just started hyperventilating at Keswick. I got up just to read scripture on Sunday, and I just lost it. I couldn't breathe. So hopefully this actually feels like Mike said it's going better. So yeah, you got the defibrillator, whatever you call that thing. Anyway, so I grew up in Brooklyn in a Catholic family. Church was a block away. School was a block away. High school was 3 blocks away. So from pre-K on, I had religious education. I always believed in God. He was always there, I guess, because, like I said, block away, half a block away. He was always there. And I was always going to church on Sundays. And I had a really, really good childhood. Very, very blessed. I mention it sometimes, to other guys about the testimonies that I hear, and sometimes it makes mine feel like, for lack of a better word, inadequate, But then I realize it's because of how blessed I am. Blessed I am, I was, and God was always there. He was always there. I just didn't look for him, I'd pray at the bad times, at the wrong times, never, just to say thanks. And I think that is the Christian life, is gratitude. As far as I'm concerned, it is. It's gratitude to the one that gave you life, He's the one that gave me everything I have. He's going to give me everything I need. I don't know how things ended up like they did. I'd like to go back in the past and talk about how, I grew up a block away from the park, and then we had keg parties when I was 13, and my dad let me have a shot at Easter when I was young, but I honestly don't think that had anything to do with my addiction. You start thinking about it, because I really didn't start my addiction till I was probably, maybe 10, 15 years ago. And I really wasn't drinking that much. I would drink on the weekends, and then it just slowly but surely got worse and worse and worse. And the last couple of years were pretty bad. I didn't know what to do. I tried to do it myself. I tried multiple times detoxing by myself. I actually did it, and it was pretty crappy. It just didn't work. And I don't know if you guys know John. John's my cousin. He was always there by me, and he was always telling me, you can't do it by yourself. You can't. And I was like, yeah, all right, okay, yeah, well, I'll do it. I was telling myself, I'll do it, and I couldn't. So they should have hired a film crew when they came over to my house for this intervention, because it actually, looking back on it now, it's hysterical. But it was, I guess, 2 years ago. We had a big storm in Jersey. I think it was Ida. I forget what it was. John came to my house with my family. Everybody was there. And that was the turning point. I was just telling the guys up there, I was telling Billy, once I tell you I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. So when I had everybody in the house begging and pleading, and John came up with this plan to go to Keswick, at first I said, no, 4 months, Keswick, what are you, crazy? And then I said, all right, I said yes, and then there was no backing down. I saw what I was doing to my family, my kids, my wife, the neglect. It's crazy when you look at it, and I never looked at how bad neglect could actually be. Because I wasn't abusive, not mentally, physically, but neglecting. That could, possibly be worse than the other. I totally neglected. I came home from work and I went to sleep, and I went to work every day and I paid for it, but I wasn't around. I was around, but I wasn't around, So I agreed to go to Keswick. I go to Keswick, and I knew that if I wanted to do it, I had to do it right. I had to not waste the time that I was given, the second chance. I didn't see it then. I didn't see it as a second chance. I just said, what am I doing this for? I have to go and make something of my life. Take that second chance. I realize now it's a second chance, but then I was just like, all right, I got to do better for me and my family. I have to do better. So when I was there, mainly at church, I'd see all these guys standing up, putting their hands up, and praying and crying, and I was just like, what the? But I wanted that. I really did. I'm looking at these guys saying, what? I want to feel that way, and I prayed to feel that way. And it took a while. It really did. It wasn't like one of those, I talk to people and they tell me that they felt things physically, sweats or whatever, or that something's come over them. And I didn't have that. It was a slow process. But there was one day that I can remember that I was truly, I've prayed before and I've asked for things, but I never really talked to God. And it was so peaceful. It was a December day, I think, and it was freezing down there, but I was on my way to work at the kitchen, and I was in a crappy mood, and I was talking to God. It makes me think of that song now from Brandon Lake. But anyway, that's the one time that I can really look at. That's like my moment, I feel. Didn't think about it too much then, but now I look back and I go, I was really talking to God. Like I really was. And he was listening. So my time there just, I think I would go back I go back whenever I get a chance. But I don't want to go back for 4 months, but I love that place. They truly did, help me find God, and he found me there and with open arms, and it's just crazy the way things happen, and my life now is actually great. I shouldn't say. My marriage is in shambles. It's hanging on by like the thinnest thread, but every day I wake up with a smile on my face, thank God, and pray for my wife. I pray for her salvation, and that's, it's a little selfish too, because I hope she gets saved, and then that'll, turn things around. But my life has totally changed. Aside from not drinking and, not smoking, it's just, I wake up, I pray, my devotions, my longing to be Christ-like, and I see so many things. I see so many things in some of the scriptures that I read, and I wrote down a few things here about, I explained this at one point here, that my addiction has been taken away from me, like totally taken away. And it's amazing to me. It scares me how that could be. I pray that it'll never come back. Because it's literally, it's gone. Like, I can't explain it. It's the weirdest thing. It's the most beautiful thing. And then I look at, is it 1 Corinthians? 1 Corinthians 5:17? 2 Corinthians. So I am a new creation. I am. And that's the only way to explain why I don't have these addictions anymore. It's been taken away from me. In Luke 19:10, for the Son of Man has come to seek and to save that which was lost. And I was lost. So, Mike, I might need those tissues. I don't know, it just feels like it wasn't real. It really does. It feels like every day it never happened. It's just so far. I was kidding. Thank you. Sorry. Thank you. Where was I? Oh, so I was a couple of months ago. I'm losing my thoughts. So I put some things here, but my whole life has changed. I see things differently, and we talk about it a lot here about this place, about church. And a couple of months ago, I went to work without my phone. I didn't have a Bible or my devotion on me. I had nothing to read. Well, let's be honest, I didn't have Netflix to watch on the way home. So I went to the bookstore, and I found a book by Bonhoeffer. I don't know why I picked that up, but I picked it up. And I haven't read it all, but it's called Life Together, and it's all about the importance of this Christian walk, this community, family and groups, prayer, worship, service, and it's that kind of makes me emotional because that's what keeps me coming back, like seeing your faces, being with you guys here. Like, even though I say it all the time, I don't want to come here a lot of times. When I get here, I'm like, what was I thinking? You know? I was just brought out of a hole, and I'm just so grateful. I really am blessed that that I'm a part of this, that I get to come see you guys every Tuesday and see some of you guys at church. There's two other things I want to share because they really, really stick out in my mind. I was reading Jonah. In 2 Jonah 5 and 6, it says, "The waters surrounded me, even to my soul. The deep closed around me. Weeds were wrapped around my head. I went down to the moorings of the mountains. The earth with its bars closed behind me forever. Yet you have brought up my life from the pit, O Lord my God." That's amazing. It really is. The other one that really sticks out to me is it's Isaiah, I think it's 49:16. If I could find it, yeah. So Zion is thinking that God forgot them. It's just how I didn't think God forgot me. I just was looking for him, but it paints a beautiful picture. And there's actually three ways I've looked it up and just tried to see what you can, how you can think about this, the way God talks here. It says, "Can a woman forget her nursing child and not have compassion on the son of her womb? Surely they may forget, yet I will not forget you. See, I have inscribed you on the palms of my hands." So one of the ways that you can look at that is that that was fulfilled in the nail scars on Jesus' hands. It's just, he's got you right here. He's got you right in the palm of his hands. Sometimes if you're the other way, is he's putting writing things down in his hand, the things that are of interest to him, things that when he looks at, he remembers the covenant that he had with his people, with me. And that's the crazy thing about how my life has changed is it's totally turned upside down. I read the Bible now. I pray every day, every night, every morning. I pray. I read devotions. I'm reading, I send scripture to my family. It's crazy. And I've heard they're making fun of me, but whatever. Let them make fun of me. Because I've learned now Didn't think about it at first, but them making fun of me is them recognizing who I am now. They see it, and that glorifies God. And that's, what else can you ask for, you know? That's basically it. I know I might have rambled a little, and I really didn't think I had that much to say. If anything, I want you to take away how blessed I know I am. I know I am. And I'm grateful for this. So, thank you very, very much.